Hello and welcome back to Simple English Learning. In today's episode, I want to share something more personal with you. You see, I spend a lot of time teaching English, giving tips and sharing strategies. But behind all of that, I also have my own story. I didn't wake up one day magically fluent. I struggled. I made mistakes. I failed many times. And I almost gave up. And that's why today's topic is my fluency story, 4 lessons I learned the hard way. Why am I sharing this with you? Because I know many of you are going through the same struggles. You might feel stuck. You might feel that you're not improving fast enough. Or maybe you're frustrated. Because no matter how much you study, you still can't speak fluently. I've been there. And through my own journey, I learned 4 powerful lessons that completely changed the way I learned English and helped me finally break through to fluency. These lessons were not easy to learn. In fact, they came from failure, frustration, and years of trying the wrong methods. But once I understood them, everything changed. And I believe that if you understand them too, your English journey will become much smoother. So let's begin my story. Lesson 1. Fluency is built on consistency, not intensity. When I first started learning English, I had this belief that if I studied really hard for a short period of time, I would become fluent quickly. So I would study for hours and hours, maybe 5 or 6 hours in one day. I memorized long vocabulary lists. I forced myself to go through difficult grammar books. And you know what happened? After 2 weeks, I was exhausted. I hated studying. I gave up. Then, after a month, I tried again. Same thing. I studied hard for a short time, then quit. It was only later that I realized fluency is not built in a single marathon study session. It is built in small, consistent steps, repeated every day. Think about it like exercise. If you go to the gym for 6 hours in one day, you will be sore and tired, but you won't become strong. But if you go for 30 minutes every day, week after week, you will see real results. English is the same. The brain learns through repetition and consistency, not through one-time effort. My advice: study less, but more often. Even 20 minutes a day is better than 3 hours once a week. Fluency is not about how hard you push in one day. It's about how consistent you are over months and years. That was my first big lesson. Lesson 2. Mistakes are not failures. They are your teachers. For a long time, I was terrified of making mistakes. Whenever I spoke to someone in English, I froze. I worried about grammar. I worried about pronunciation. I worried that people would laugh at me. So, what did I do? I avoided speaking. I told myself, I'll speak when I'm ready. I waited for the day when my English would be perfect. But here's the truth. That day never came. Because fluency doesn't come before speaking. Fluency comes from speaking and from making mistakes while speaking. One day, I had to give a short presentation in English. I was nervous, and of course, I made mistakes. I used the wrong tense, I forgot some words, and my pronunciation wasn't great. But do you know what happened? Nobody laughed. People still understood me. And afterwards, someone even told me, "Your English is good. Keep practicing." That moment changed my mindset. I realized mistakes are not failures. They're teachers. Every mistake shows you what you need to work on. Every mistake brings you one step closer to fluency. My advice: don't wait for perfection. Speak now, make mistakes, learn from them. The only true failure is silence. Lesson 3. Input is the fuel. Output is the engine. Another mistake I made was focusing too much on one side of learning. At first, I spent almost all my time memorizing grammar rules and vocabulary lists. That gave me input, but no output. Later, I spent a lot of time speaking without listening or reading enough. That gave me output, but weak input. The balance was missing. Here's what I eventually learned. Input is the fuel. Output is the engine. You need both to move forward. Input means listening and reading. This is how you fill your brain with words, phrases, and grammar structures. Without input, you have nothing to use when you speak. Output means speaking and writing. This is how you train your brain and mouth to produce English. Without output, you will always be passive. At first, I consumed input passively. I listened to podcasts, watched movies, and read books. But I didn't take notes. I didn't try to use what I learned. So the knowledge just disappeared. Later, I started using active input. When I read, I highlighted phrases. When I listened, I paused and repeated. When I learned a new word, I used it in a sentence immediately, and then I combined it with output. I practiced speaking those phrases in conversations. I wrote short journal entries, and I recorded myself. That combination changed everything. My brain was getting fuel from input and training the engine with output. My advice: don't choose between input and output. Do both. Listen and read every day, but also speak and write every day, even just a little. That's how you create momentum. Lesson 4. Motivation fades, but habits stay. The last lesson I learned, the hardest one, was about motivation. When I first started, I was excited. I was motivated. I bought new books. I made study plans. But after a few weeks, the excitement faded. Life got busy. My motivation disappeared. And so did my learning. This cycle repeated many times. Motivation would come, then go. And every time it went, I felt guilty. It took me years to realize motivation is temporary, but habits are permanent. If you rely only on motivation, you will fail. But if you build habits, you will succeed, even when motivation disappears. How did I build habits? I made English part of my daily life. I set a specific time to study, every morning for 20 minutes. I connected English to things I already loved, like watching movies, listening to music, or reading about topics that interested me. I kept a journal of my progress, so I could see how far I had come. And slowly, English became not something I forced myself to do, but something I naturally did every day. My advice: don't wait for motivation. Build habits. Make English part of your life, just like brushing your teeth or drinking coffee. Conclusion. So, let's review the 4 lessons I learned the hard way. 1. Fluency is built on consistency, not intensity. Study less, but every day. 2. Mistakes are your teachers, not your enemies. Speak now, learn from errors. 3. Input is the fuel, output is the engine. Balance listening, reading with speaking, writing. 4. Motivation fades, but habits stay. Build routines that last. These 4 lessons completely changed my journey. They took me from a frustrated learner who almost gave up to someone who could finally speak English fluently and confidently. And now, I share them with you through simple English learning because I don't want you to waste years like I did. I want you to learn smarter, faster, and with more confidence. So here's my challenge to you. Pick one of these lessons and start applying it today. Don't wait. Don't overthink. Take action. Remember, fluency is not about being perfect. It's about being consistent, courageous, and committed. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. If my story inspired you, please share it with your friends, subscribe to Simple English Learning, and comment below. Which lesson connects most with your own English journey? This is your teacher and friend from Simple English Learning. Until next time, keep learning smart and keep speaking with confidence.